take care of all his children.
Yes, he has. And it's that time again for us to say good morning to you, Grenada Carrier, Kofi Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Welcome to Good Morning Grenada for today. It's Tuesday, the 13th day of January, 2026. Yep, 13 days have already gone. So I just want to remind you that it is a good day to have a good day in a good way. Tuesday's prayer. Heavenly Father, as we open our eyes this Tuesday, we welcome your presence with grateful hearts. Thank you for providing all that we need, protecting us from harm and healing every broken place within us. Lord, guide our steps today, guard our thoughts, and cover our families with your peace. Let your favor go before us, and may your love surround us in every moment. May this Tuesday bring renewed hope, answered prayers, and the assurance that you are working all things together for our good. Yes, amen, 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 amen. And let's hear this one. Beautiful good morning, Tuesday blessings. May your Tuesday morning be filled with peace, joyful surprises, and the assurance that everything need will come at the perfect time today. Wishing you a beautiful Tuesday. Thank you very much, Evangelist rather. Hope you're having a great day yourself. So I want to say good morning to my people who are on with me already. Monica Mayrose Williams, Yulin Alexander, Mary E. Banks, Jillian McIntyre, Michelle Bernard. Yep. Right. Good morning, Petlin. I want to say good morning to a dear friend, Vicklin Moraine, all the way in Lafortune in St. Patrick. I hope you are doing well, my dear friend. All right. All right. Good morning to Miss Lyra and Tamika in Dunfrum. You know Miss Lyra. Miss Lyra is like my mom, you know. Yeah, that's my mom. Miss Lyra, good morning to you, and Joy and Janice and Wayne and everybody. I can't remember the twins and so forth, but good morning. Good morning, Yule and Swan, Veronica, Sandy. Hope you all are doing fine. Petlin, good morning wherever you are. Jennifer Collymore, good morning. I hope you're doing fine. When you talk to Daddy Jojo, tell him I say hello, right? Before the day is over, all your problems will be taken care of. And if they are not taken care of, then you will be made stronger to deal with them. Lauren, good morning to you, Lauren Salim. Hey folks, it's 24 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Sylvina Charles just joined us. Good morning. Daddy Godwin, good morning to you, and Miss Joan. Kenneth, Solange, Zuri, and Kathy, and out there in Florida, good morning. Always locked on to my friends in England. Good morning, Brandon and the team. Friend from Guav who's taking care of Brandon. Well, good morning. Thank you. Roman Delils, good morning. Good morning to you and the family. My friend over there in Barbados, good morning. Trinidad and Tobago is there also. Good morning. Good morning, St. Vincent. And man, the world is with us. Yeah, destined to win, overcomer. Good morning. The word of the day today. That word, well, yesterday we heard about being accountable. All right, leaders must be accountable. Today we look at the word efficient. Efficient, working well. It is spelled EFFICIENT. It means working well with little waste. Working well with little waste, not any waste at all. You know, you're very efficient. And here's how we can use that word in a sentence. Public services must be efficient. Public servants must be efficient. And while on that, you know, customer service is a must. You know, companies, I think it's important, very, very important, that every now and then you can bring in a specialist to come and give your staff some pepping. You know, sometimes complacency creep in and people start feeling, comfortable in their jobs and they're not as efficient and as professional as it relates to customer service as they ought to. So every now and then, it's not a bad idea to bring in someone to, give him a refresher or something like that. Good morning, Mr. Eddie Frederick. He's a good guy for that. Yeah, good morning. Just to ensure that you're getting efficiency on the job. 22 minutes on to 7 o'clock. So remember the word today, that word was efficient. Yeah. Working well with a little waste. Public servants in the public service must be efficient. Have you ever gone to a business place, whether it's in the government ministry or in a private company, and you feel like you're a bother to the person that is confronting you, that is dealing with you? Their facial expressions, their tonal quality and everything like that. It's like, what you come here for? I'm on my phone. Wilcia Thomas, good morning. How you doing? Hope you're doing fine. Hilarion Gunpot, good morning, my bro. All the way in Brooklyn, New York. It's cold. I'm so happy it's not me in that situation. Can't deal with that cold, boy. I don't like it hot, I like AC all the time, but that cold in New York and them places is no, it's not cold, it's very cold. I ain't giving up my sunshine and my beaches and my rivers and my crayfish and to live in an ice box, as Oliver Samuels would say. Brooklyn, good morning. Reverend Samuel Caesar, good morning to you and the entire family, the folks in East Flatbush, New York. Crossroads Radio. Mr. B, good morning. Joe Bailey and Joe, former police officer. Say, you Ifa wicked, that's what you're saying, no? I say, Joe, you would you consider yourself a wicked person? Ifa wicked, I'm wicked in joke, Sylvina Charles, good morning again. The folks inside of Mama Ken and Munich, good morning. Debbie, good morning. All right, good morning, Innocent, all the way from Brooklyn, New York. Who's this there now? Now you're making me feel like to jump on JetBlue, but I didn't want to come in certain people country right now, you know what I'm saying? Folks, so let's see, what's the motivational tip of the day? What's that today? Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Yeah, failure is simply the opportunity to begin again. This time you do it more intelligently because you know of one way that it doesn't work. Remember I said fail, F-A-I-L. It means the first attempt in learning. Yeah, try again. All right, Lauren. The folks inside of Shantimel. Good morning. Stona Barry in Victoria. Good morning. How are you doing? Nice. What's buzzing this morning? Let's see what's buzzing. All right. Opposition leader urge the government to prepare for geopolitical developments. Much needed boost for Grenada's hydromet network with handover of new equipment to Nawasa. Good morning, Nawasa. Jamila Lewis, good morning to you and your entire team, Mr. Farry. In the region, St. Lucia becomes the latest OECS country to sign MOU for the potential transfer of third country deportees from the U.S. Internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump imposes 25% tariff on goods from countries that do business with Iran. And in sports, Cricket West Indies names 16-member squad for 3-match T20 International Series against Australia. Yeah. That's how it is. Yeah. Those are the buzzing stories at this time. Yeah, nobody, It's Janice Charles. Fleshy, good morning. Here's your sister, boy.
I love you so much.
Yeah. Mr. Palmer, good morning to you. Mr. J. Whiteman and family, good morning. How are you doing, Papi? How's Raymond this morning? He's fine? Nice. A good day to have a good day.
Who knows what's deep inside my
Absolutely nobody.
nobody,
Nobody knows what I'm going through.
nobody.
And, sometimes it makes no sense telling them because they're not really intent on helping you.
Tearing me
You know what I'm saying?
apart. Nobody
The
but
gentleman from Monjaloo, good morning. I can't remember your name off my head, man. How are you doing? Hope you're doing fine. Judy's brother.
I
Monjaloo, good morning. Marian.
am.
Woban, good morning.
Nobody but Jesus.
Nice. Folks, the AM edition of News, Sports, and the Weather comes up right after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
And nobody but him. That's why nobody, no.
There are lots of reasons to own your future now. Lots of dreams and lots of plans. Lots of ways to own your land. With ACB by your side. Lots of ways to own with pride. Lots of chances to make it yours. Lots of ways to open doors. Lots of space to build much more. Lots of reasons to own your future now. There are lots of reasons to own your future now.
Start building your tomorrow today with a Lots loan from ACB Grenada
There
Bank.
are lots of reasons to own your future now.
Lots. Land ownership. Tomorrow secured.
Terms and conditions apply.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
If you thought 2025 was amazing, get ready, Grenada. GBN's Old Young Fest is back and bigger than ever. Join us on Saturday, the 31st of January at Pearl's Airstrip for a full day of food, culture, and fun. Watch competitors battle it out for the title of the best original oil down, the best seafood oil down, and the most festive display. Enjoy live calypso and a steel pan, children's activities, traditional ring games, and plenty vibes for the whole family. Gates open at 10 a.m. Don't miss the celebrations of Grenada's national dish, GBN Old Young Fest, where culture, flavor, and tradition comes together. See you on Saturday, January 31st at Pearl's Airstrip. And remember,
This is a GBN morning edition of news for today, Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. Coming up in the news, opposition leader urged government to prepare for geopolitical developments. A much-needed boost for Grenada's hydromet network with handover of new equipment to Nawasa. In the region, St. Lucia becomes the latest OECS country to sign MOU for potential transfer of third-party deportees from the U.S. Internationally, U.S. President imposes 25% tariff on goods from countries that do business with Iran. And in sports, Cricket West Indies names a 16-member squad for a 3-match T20 international series against Afghanistan. And there's another interesting story, a special sports meet that's coming up. You'll hear about it. The details to these and more after these messages.
Grenada, are you ready for the biggest football showdown to kick off 2026? Our senior men's national team is back and they're going for 7 straight wins. Sunday, January 18th, Team Grenada takes on regional rivals Jamaica in a clash of titans at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. Kickoff 5 p.m. sharp. It's pride, power, and pure Caribbean football. Grenada versus Jamaica, a rivalry like no other. Can we make it 7 in a row? Come feel the energy, the passion, the fight. Tickets just $25 for adults, $10 for children. Kids under 10 enter free. Grab yours now at Heather's Boutique, Chucky's Bar, Grenadian Optical, or GFA's office. Tell your friends, bring the family, and let's pack the stadium. This is more than a match. This is Grenada versus Jamaica, and we want all of you to be in the stands. Sunday, January 18th at 5 p.m. Grenada versus Jamaica. One team, one goal.
Hey there, did you know? The GPPA now offers more ways to take control of your health. That's right, copper and hormonal IUDs plus hormonal implants, all available to you. Safe, effective, and empowering options because your body, your choice. This message is brought to you by the Grenada Planned Parenthood Association through the Build Back Equal project, funded by Global Affairs Canada.
Okay, let's set the roof on fire. Step by step, raise the whole room higher. Pick up your step, don't try hard. Down, up, down like a boom bap choir. Turn out the beat up, raise up the heat. Kick up your feet like this, like that. Word on the street says you got the heat, so let's see you move like this, like that.
A special good morning to you with the details. I am Gordon Joseph saying a good morning to our friends from Hot 98 FM and also to my colleague Rena Pierre Thomas out there in the U.S. Hi, Rena. Now with the news, I'm Gordon Joseph. Now, the leader of His Majesty's opposition, Emlyn Pierre, is calling on government to prepare the country for the fallout of ongoing geopolitical developments. Speaking on Monday night's episode of Beyond the Headlines, Pierre expressed concern about the government's response to the increasing tensions that must recently escalated with the United States capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro on January 3rd. She made reference to the travel disruptions experienced in the immediate aftermath of the incident, underscoring the potential impact of the developments on Grenada's economy. According to Pierre, focus must shift from the motivations of other actors toward national efforts to safeguard the country. We have more in this.
And so the point is this is not about what Trump does or doesn't do or what Maduro does or doesn't do. It's more about how do we align what we are doing locally to prepare ourselves for this. The developments regionally and internationally has to define our posture. It has to define the decisions we make, how we spend the resources that we have.
Questioned about the opposition's position on the U.S. radar request, Pierre said she was unable to weigh in as the government has not included national stakeholders in its consultations.
So how am I supposed to comment on something I have no knowledge about? I would have expected that from the instant that the government received the request, that the government would have attempted to engage critical people, stakeholders, social partners, as we call them. These are people that should be helping government to make decisions, critical decisions.
Pierre emphasized the importance of dialogue, stating that instead of defending Grenada against the Level 2 travel advisory imposed by the U.S., the government should address the U.S. concerns directly through negotiations. According to Pierre, the approach taken by some members of the current administration have ultimately not benefited the country.
If we talk in strategic diplomacy, doesn't mean that you cannot support a position of a particular country. So let us talk about Cuba, for example, and the medical services. It's okay to say how much you benefit from that. It's okay to say that this particular service is a need, it's a necessity. But I'm not sure that it's okay to say you don't care if they take your passport, you're going to continue. And you know what's interesting? The very said people who had that posture initially, look at their posture today, because they realize there's more to lose than to gain.
Opposition leader Emmeline Pierre appearing on GBN's Beyond the Headlines program last night. Now, through the GEF-funded Climate Resilient Agriculture for Integrated Landscape Management, the CRA project, which was implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry in collaboration with United Nations Development Program, the UNDP Multi-Country Office in Barbados, the National Water and Sewerage Authority, NAWASA, has received equipment to upgrade the hydrometric network. This network supports various organizations, including the Water Resource Company, Maurice Bishop International Airport, the ministries, and others by providing a hydrometeorological monitoring system which shares real-time or near real-time hydromet data for stakeholders and public. We have more on this.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry, specifically the Land Use Division of the Ministry, collaborates very closely with NAWASA and the Met Office in maintaining Grenada's network of hydrometeorological stations or automatic weather stations across the three main islands, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So it is a pleasure for the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry to be making this contribution of equipment that's required by the Water Resources Unit, right, of NAWASA, so that they can be able to carry out their functions effectively and efficiently. So it is a pleasure for us to hand over these equipment, velocity, depth sensor, and flow meter. The total amount of money that was spent for the procurement of those items is $21,075.60.
That was Land Use Officer Joseph Noel speaking during the handover of equipment last Friday. Now the items were handed over to project manager for the CRA, Arnold Felix, who had these words to say.
I want to say thank you to the CRA project for funding this initiative and procuring this device. So it'll be very useful, put into very good use in terms of collecting hydrological data in times where water stress and availability may be at risk during the year, both in the dry season and in the hurricane/wet season. This data will be put into good use to do further analysis and to prepare and to advise people on the usage of water and status of water in Grenada on a whole.
That was Okay, Matunda DeGale, water resource technician at the organization, says the system provides real-time or near real-time hydrometeorological data, strengthening water resource management, climate monitoring, and early warning capabilities for both decision makers and the public. The equipment handed over includes a velocity depth session and flow meter valued at over $21,000. The handover included the signing of a transfer of ownership form with NAWASA. Just about 1 year ago, the government of Grenada, through the Ministry of Agriculture, imported over 300 hybrid animals. Among them were pigs. The intent was to distribute these animals to farmers, aimed at strengthening the country's food security. The ministry is now calling on farmers to apply. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Isaac Bagwan, spoke to the initiative and had this to say.
The intent, of course, was that 25 farmers would receive a bull pig, all right, and then the original breeding stock would remain with the Ministry of Agriculture, so that we, in a sense, would breed the pure stock and then distribute it to the farmers, and they themselves would breed. But of course, to expedite the process in the project design, we would have selected 25 farmers to be able to benefit from that. And in fact, so far, just about 10 farmers would have received the bull pigs.
The Permanent Secretary wants farmers to ensure that their holding facilities meet the required standards in terms of strength and structure.
As I mentioned, 25 farmers should have benefited. However, the quality of these animals, they're huge animals, these bulls, and so some of the farmers that was originally selected, of course, we know that we would have had Hurricane Beryl. Some of the pens, of course, were not up to the standard. Unfortunately, some of the bull pigs are bigger than some of the size of the pens, and the construction of some of the farmers' pen was just not adequate. In fact, one of the bull pigs would have just put its feet on the wall, and the whole pen crumbled. So we've had these kind of situations, and so two things in terms of moving forward. One is that we've sent out an application again to ask farmers that we would have originally selected to reapply and to look for new farmers, because some of them have to upgrade the quality of the pen and of course the feeding regime. Also too, I must also indicate that in this year's budget 2026, the sum of approximately $1 million was made available so that we could assist farmers in upgrading the pens.
P.S. Bagwan stated that farmers have already started benefiting from the hybrid animals. He also notes that in the coming months, funds will be available to farmers to ensure adequate facilities.
Very shortly, I expect within a week or two, we would be sending out again to the public to say to farmers, pig farmers, that these are funds that is available. Of course, we will have a selection criteria and, of course, a minimum amount that persons, farmers could benefit. So all that is in the intent of making sure that they have quality pens, and, of course, for those, as I've said before, who have been missed, to give them an opportunity to apply, and then we'll screen them and make sure that the pens are adequate, so that they would continue with the program. And in fact, I'm very pleased to say that of the 25 private farmers that have been given bulls, only 2 days ago they started to deliver. So we in terms of seeing the benefits. So we expect during the coming weeks, then a lot more of the farmers would have piglets, and so and to get the farm going. In the case of the Ministry of Agriculture, we are just waiting on time, because we have already bred some of those that we've had, and of course pigs take 5 months, 5 weeks, 5 days to be able to deliver. So we do expect within the first quarter of this year that we ourselves would be able to have top bred, purebred pigs for distribution.
Just a brief correction here. I think the PS got it a little wrong. The pigs usually take 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days, and not 5 months, 5 weeks, and 5 days. But nonetheless, that brings us to the end of the local segment of news. Stay with us. The regional and international developments, they are straight ahead. Turning our attention to the region, St. Lucia has agreed to a non-binding memorandum of understanding with the United States that could allow for the transfer of certain third country nationals deported from the U.S. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre disclosed the decision in his New Year's address on Sunday, January 11th, noting that the position mirrors similar arrangements being considered by several CARICOM states. In a follow-up fact sheet, the government stressed that the MOU creates no legal obligation, no automatic action, and no requirement for St. Lucia to accept anyone. Instead, it outlines a framework for dialogue between the two countries. Pierre noted that the country's position is aligned with CARICOM's broader response to recent geopolitical developments, pointing to regional fallouts from events in Venezuela, including disruptions to travel, trade, and tourism. Pierre also sought to reassure the public that there have been no official changes to U.S. visa policy affecting St. Lucians, while urging citizens to act responsibly to ensure that remains the case. The Prime Minister said his priority remains protecting the national interest. I always act in the best interest of the people of St. Lucia, no matter how difficult the decisions may be, Pierre said. In other news, former Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ralph Gonsalves, has warned that the country could face serious risks to national stability, accusing the newly elected NDP administration of pursuing reckless foreign policy and economic decisions. Speaking on Monday, Gonsalves criticized proposals under consideration by the government, including a possible shift in diplomatic recognition from Taiwan to China and the introduction of citizenship by investment program. He described the proposed diplomatic changes as unnecessary and reckless, arguing that when combined with plans to sell citizenship, it exposes the country to heightened geopolitical and security risks. He cautioned that the global environment for citizenship by investment programs is deteriorating, claiming that major Western powers have made clear their opposition to such schemes. He warned that continued reliance on the schemes could threaten visa-free travel and undermine economic stability, with wider implications for the Eastern Caribbean currency. Gonsalves warned that inexperienced decision-making could have lasting consequences, arguing that the current leadership lacks the practical grounding needed to manage complex economic and geopolitical challenges. Now, looking further afield, the U.S. President Donald Trump says he has imposed a 25% tariff on goods from countries that do business with Iran as protests against Tehran's leadership enter a third week. In a social media post on Monday, Trump warned that any country trading with Iran would face the tariff on all business with the United States. The White House has not said which countries would be most affected. The move comes as Washington ramps up pressure on Tehran, with U.S. officials confirming that military options remain under consideration. Iran's economy, already weakened by sanctions, has been hit hard by protests sparked by the collapse of the national currency. Rights groups say nearly 500 protesters have been killed, though an internet blackout has made verifications difficult. And finally, a Swiss judge has ordered one of the co-owners of the ski resort bar where 40 people died in a New Year's Eve fire to remain in detention for 90 days. Prosecutors say Jacques Moretti, a French national, poses a flight risk. He and his wife Jessica are under investigation for manslaughter, bodily harm, and arson by negligence. His wife has been placed under house arrest. The fire at the La Castellon bar in Crans, Montana, also injured 116 people, many of them teenagers. Investigators believe the blaze started when sparklers attached to champagne bottles ignited soundproofing foam on the ceiling. Authorities have since confirmed the venue had not been inspected for 5 years, despite rules requiring annual safety checks. The mayor of Crans Franz Montana has apologized and announced a ban on sparklers in local venues. 80 victims remain hospitalized across Switzerland and other parts of Europe. That's the regional and international news. Stay with us. The sporting segment is straight ahead. Well, good morning, sporting fans. Cricket, lovely cricket. West Indies Cricket has named Cricket West Indies has named the 16-member squad for the 3-match T20 International Series coming up against Afghanistan, which will be played in Dubai from January 19th to 22nd. The series forms a key part of preparations for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, which begins on February 6th. A final World Cup squad will be named ahead of the West Indies T20 series against South Africa later this month. Regular captain Shea Hope is unavailable due to commitments in the SA20, along with Roston Chase, Akil Hossain and Shafin Rutherford. In Hope's absence, Brandon King will lead the side, bringing prior T20 captaincy experience. Shamar Joseph and Evan Lewis return after successfully completing injury recovery programs. Fast bowler Alzari Joseph continues to make progress, but has been left out as a precaution and will remain under medical review ahead of World Cup selection. Quentin Sampson, the breakout player of the 2025 Caribbean Premier League, earns his first international call-up. Rovman Powell, Jason Holder, and Romario Shepherd have been rested as part of workload management. Head coach Darren Sammy said the series provides valuable match practice in subcontinental conditions and an opportunity to reintegrate players returning from injury ahead of the World Cup. The squad departs the Caribbean on January 14th and arrives in the UAE on January 16th. And finally, in a very interesting story, the Enhanced Games, a new international sporting event that permits the use of performance-enhancing drugs, is set to make its debut in Las Vegas this May. Organizers say the competition allows athletes to use substances approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, including steroids, testosterone, and growth hormones, if they choose. The event positions itself as an alternative to traditional Olympic regulated sport, offering prize monies of up to US $250,000 per event and a US $1 million bonus for breaking a world record. The organizers described the Enhanced Games as a platform focused on maximizing athletic performance, recovery, and health through science. However, the concept has drawn strong criticism from major sporting bodies such as World Athletics and World Aquatics, and also the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA. They've all condemned the event, with WADA calling it dangerous and irresponsible. Critics warn that it undermines clean sport, poses serious health risks, and could permanently damage athletes' careers. Last year, World Aquatics introduced a bylaw barring athletes and officials to support or take part in events that permit banned substances from competing in its sanctioned competitions. Despite the controversy, several athletes have confirmed their participation, including retired Jamaican sprinter Shakoria Wallace. And that's all the sports we've got at this time, and it's 11 minutes after 7 o'clock, running a bit late this morning, but nonetheless we'll have more sports in our luncheon newscast and our primetime newscast. Stay with us, the weather forecast is straight ahead.
Whether you're refreshing a bedroom or giving your home a bold new look, the Color Shop has the perfect paint and tools to make it happen, inside and out. With quality finishes for every surface and accessories to match, we make painting easy from start to finish. Whether it's a DIY weekend or a contractor starting a brand new project, the Color Shop is the trusted choice.
All right, folks, at this time, I now join forecaster Nicole Jones at the forecast desk at the MBIA for this morning's weather report. Good morning, Nicole.
Hi, good morning to you and your listeners. Here's the weather for today, Tuesday, the 13th January 2026, as recorded at Morris Bishop International Airport. Presently, the weather is cloudy with vicinity showers to the northeast. The winds are calm, barometric pressure at 1014 millibar, which is above normal and rising. The present temperature is 25.1 degrees Celsius, relative humidity 87%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 30.4 degrees Celsius. Last night min 23.8 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, 1.4 millimeter of rainfall was recorded, which brings the total for the month 1.4. Now we move to the public forecast valid for today and tonight. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy with light haze and light isolated showers, becoming light to moderate overnight. Maximum temperature 30.5 degrees Celsius. The winds are expected to be east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 5 to 15 miles per hour, becoming variable to calmer times. Seas moderate with wave 4 to 6 feet in open waters. High tide today will be at 11:45 a.m., low tide 7 p.m. Sunset 6 o'clock, sunrise 6:31. Just to repeat the public forecast valid for today and tonight, partly cloudy with slight haze and light isolated showers, becoming light to moderate overnight. Maximum temperature 30.5 degrees Celsius. Reporting from the Morris Bishop International Airport, I'm Nicole Jones. Do have yourself a wonderful morning.
Thank you very much, Nicole. You have yourself a great day likewise. Folks, the weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick and Thompson Company Limited.
Shop with confidence at Courts. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Courts. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
And to end the news, recap of the headlines in case you need to know. It's 15 minutes after 7 o'clock. And the local scene opposition leader urged government to prepare for geopolitical developments. And we also heard that a much needed boost comes for Grenada's hydromet network with the handover of new equipment to Nawasa. In the region, St. Lucia becomes the latest OECS country to sign MOU for the potential transfer of third country deportees from the U.S. Internationally, U.S. President imposes a 25% tariff on goods from countries that do business with Iran. In sports, West Indies names a 16-man squad for the 3-match T20 International Series against Afghanistan. And this very interesting story, it is called the Enhanced Games, where athletes are allowed to use testosterone, growth hormones, and even steroids. Very interesting. I want to see the outcome of this. Folks, nonetheless, that has been the morning edition of news for today, Tuesday, the 13th day of January 2026. On behalf of the entire news department and the production team, I am Gordon Joseph, thanking you for viewing and listening, wishing you a safe and productive day, and extending that invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, because we are with you anywhere and everywhere. Rena Pierre Thomas, stick with us as always, and also to graphics and the team from Hot 98 FM. This is where we say goodbye. Bye-bye, everybody.
Already supply goods and services.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide the light that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next time, next time, next time, next day, oh.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Hey there. Did you know? The GPPA now offers more ways to take control of your health. That's right, copper and hormonal IUDs plus hormonal implants, all available to you. Safe, effective, and empowering options because your body, your choice. This message is brought to you by the Grenada Planned Parenthood Association through the Build Back Equal project, funded by Global Affairs Canada.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique are known as the spice of the Caribbean, offering a blend of authenticity and adventure. Our unique selling points include pristine beaches, lush rainforests, rich cultural heritage, and vibrant festivals. These elements create a tapestry of experiences that awaken the senses and invite travelers to explore the beauty of our islands. We're also keeping an eye on industry trends like personalization, sustainability, wellness, and tech-enabled journeys. Personalization allows us to create bespoke experiences tailored to individual preferences, while sustainability ensures that our tourism practices preserve the environment and benefit local communities. Wellness travel is on the rise, with visitors seeking relaxation and rejuvenation, and technology is enhancing the travel experience through AI-powered trip planning and virtual reality previews. By embracing these trends, we can ensure that our offerings remain appealing and relevant to travelers around the world.
Set the roof on fire, step by step, raise the whole room higher. Pick up your step, don't try hard. Down, up, down like a boom bap choir. Turn out the beat, raise up the heat. Kick up your feet like this, like that. Word on the street says you got the heat, so let's see you move like this, like that.
Grenada. Are you ready for the biggest football showdown to kick off 2026? Our senior men's national team is back, and they're going for 7 straight wins. Sunday, January 18th, Team Grenada takes on regional rivals Jamaica in a clash of titans at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. Kickoff 5 p.m. sharp. It's pride, power, and pure Caribbean football. Grenada versus Jamaica, a rivalry like no other. Can we make it 7 in a row? Come feel the energy, the passion, the fight. Tickets just $25 for adults, $10 for children. Kids under 10 enter free. Grab yours now at Heather's Boutique, Chucky's Bar, Grenadian Optical, or GFA's office. Tell your friends, bring the family, and let's pack the stadium. This is more than a match. This is Grenada versus Jamaica, and we want all of you to be in the stands. Sunday, January 18th at 5 p.m. Grenada versus Jamaica. One team, one goal.
Welcome, viewers and listeners. It's 24 minutes gone past that golden hour of 7 o'clock. That's the rush hour. 8 o'clock is not the rush hour. The rush hour is, you could safely say, the rush 2 hours from 6 to 8, you know, because you've got to get to work for 8 o'clock, so you have to be rushing before that. With me this morning is a good friend, a colleague, a good citizen, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Junior George. Good morning, sir.
I said, let me come and pay my friend a visit.
Well,
it's been a long time.
Ever so often, ever so often you need to do that. Late last year in New York, I tried to meet up with you in New York, but
boy, it was busy times, man.
Yeah,
it was busy times.
Couldn't happen.
Nah.
So how is Junior George doing?
I'm doing great. You know, I'm not much of a morning person, to tell you the truth. I don't know how you do it, Gordon. I'm an evening kind of guy. So getting up early in the morning is sometimes a real struggle because
you can't get up 3 o'clock.
I don't know. I don't think I could do that. See, I'm a good sleep. When I fall asleep, I'm sleeping.
Okay.
I sleep. Okay. So yeah.
I was telling a friend of mine before my program started this morning. Even when I worked in the bank, I would. By that time I was younger and more. Outgoing. We would party up till 2 o'clock. Reach home after 2 and be the first person in the bank at 6:45 in the morning, setting up the computers.
The energy you had.
but nonetheless, we're here to talk this morning on. I'm very happy that you came, to talk about that particular matter, because it's something that I have been advocating for a while.
Yeah.
It's time that the economy of Grenada changed from an 8 to 4 economy to a 24-hour economy. And whenever I brought up that topic, most people pushed back, stating that we want to do things, but transportation is a problem.
It's an issue.
So here we have Ride Go.
Ride Go.
Tell us about Ride Go.
Ride Go is something that was conceptualized, something that I had in the making for about the better part of 5 years.
Okay.
So it's not something that I just got up and thought about. It was something that I've been working on for a long time. When Uber launched in New York, I became one of the key partners in terms of teaching all the drivers in New York. So I was intimately aware of the technology and the benefits. And also the people who worked in Uber, like the management and the owners, operators of Uber, top owner of Uber, we met on many occasions. So it was always an idea of taking that type of technology to Grenada. And although at the time there was a lot of pushback because, they figured that Grenada was a very small market, too much of a small market to come in. So Uber branched off into the bigger countries. You have the US. I mean, Uber is everywhere. But that idea always stuck with me, because I saw that Grenada would benefit from an enhanced sort of transportation sector. So I've worked for this past years, developing codes, working with people from different countries to make it a reality here. And last year it was supposed to launch, but we had some problem with our Google platform, so it was not able to launch last year. But we were able to overcome all these hurdles, and we officially launched the Go platform, which is the Ride Go platform, on the 25th of August, which was last year, which is 2025. Essentially, Go is a transportation ride share platform. It enables everyone and anyone that in need of any transportation to get from point A to point B easier, more comfortable, and accessible. So we get the comfort and the accessibility. Basically, it's an app, right, that you have on your phone. For some of the people who know about Uber, they know that's how it works. So we have the driver who has the reciprocated version of the customer app. The customer sitting at home, they may be at home right now, and they want to go, say, they're running late for school, or the teacher who is running late for a class, or someone running late for work, or just want to get somewhere. They just go on the app and they request a taxi or a car. We don't like to say taxi because we want to say it's a personal driver. It's not just a taxi, because the driver will really go above and beyond, and it's vehicles that goes through the tests and drivers who get approved on a very high level to provide the services, and they pick you up and they take you to your destination. The beauty of it is, because of how the app is set up, it's a cashless system. So basically, you get into the vehicle because everything is set up on the platform. You just get in the car, and when the ride is finished and you get to your destination, you just say, "Good afternoon, good morning, good night," and you just walk away.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So it's a cashless system. The driver receives cash instantly, payment instantly, and you yourself, you just go.
Now, we need to make some clarifications here, because when our folks hear a cashless system,
right,
people say, "Well, Junior George gone mad."
Not cash free, cashless.
That's what I'm saying. I say Junior gone mad. Junior maybe win the Super Bowl.
Not yet.
The $1 billion jackpot. Because for him to come to Grenada and introduce a transportation system where you just jump in and jump out without paying.
Right.
So explain the payment process.
Right. So, to answer your question, let me go back a little bit. So I'm from Union, Richmond, Ledig. That's my area. Big up to the folks over there in my lovely village. I sat with elder one time, and we sat in a veranda, and she was telling me, she said, "Junior, last night I was feeling so sick. I felt like if I was going to die." And she called someone who she know had a taxi, a car, who picks people up and drop them off. And she couldn't find him. She called somebody else who was closer to Grenville, and she couldn't find him either. She said she sits in her veranda and she grind pain for the whole night, right? And she thought she was going to die because she don't know how or what or who. So that even enhanced my process of getting this thing done. So the process of payment is once you obtain or download the app, which is a very easy app, quick app to download. It takes about 5 seconds into your phone. It's available on all the app stores. You could do one or two things. One, you could put in your credit card information. Right, so your credit card information is on file, right? It's safely and securely stored. So whenever you need a ride, all you do, your card is already on file. You just tell the app automatically will know where you are. So if you were in Grenville, if you were on Salisbury Road, if you on Melville Street, the app would automatically know your current location because of the setup. All you need to do is put in your destination. And once you put in your destination, the app calculates the time and the distance from your current location to your destination. And it also tells you the cost, how to get from point A to point B, right? And then once you look, and we have different options of vehicles. Of course, we have the smaller vehicle. So some people just need a small car. Some people go in with friends and need a bigger car. Some people doing a pool and they need to pool with other people to get from point A to point B. But anyway, you select your vehicle. Some people need a luxury vehicle. Some people need a Tesla. All of those stuff options are available. And you just select the vehicle, and the car come and pick you up like magic.
And your card is automatically debited.
Right, your card is automatically debited. That's one option. The other option is there's a cash option. So some people, for some reason they don't want to use their card option. We have cash, so you could pay cash. Once you could request the car, the driver is going to come pick you up, and then you pay cash to the driver at the end of the trip. So there is this option, and we are rolling out a third option, which is a wallet option, which we're gonna be launching that in the next few weeks or so.
Okay, and the wallet option, what's that?
Wallet is basically an option whereby it's digital money, right? So you may not want to put your card, and you may not have active cash on you. So you will come into a kiosk and you say, you know what, I want to put $100 in my wallet, or you could transfer $100 into your wallet, and then if you need to go from point A to point B, you use the money in your wallet.
And folks, when he talks wallet, he's talking electronic, right?
Digital wallet. It's a digital wallet.
Digital electronic wallet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Before we go further, Veronica Sandy says, good morning, Junior.
Hey, good morning, Veronica Sandy. She's a big fan and supporter. Thank you so much, Veronica, and everyone that's watching.
All right. Okay, so how long has this ride been operational in Grenada?
Right, so we launched in August of 2025. Official launch was in August of 2025. But we spent the better part of a year and a half testing the platform. Of course, the process it's not just building an app, which is it's very complicated, and the app is very dynamic. It has a lot of moving parts, but it's also managing the components of the app, like the drivers on the app, right? So first and foremost, someone who wants to become a driver on the Ride Go app would download the Ride Diamond app and also put in their information, their license information, the vehicle information. We're very strict in terms of the type of vehicle and type of drivers. We do background checks on everyone, and of course they'll take pictures of all sides of the vehicle, and that goes through a secondary process where we check the vehicle, we check the driver, we check the driving record, and if approved, then they get approved on the system. So that means that driver has the ability now to receive trips through the Ride Go app. Right?
So in essence, all right, you private individuals can become a part of Ride Go by applying.
Right. Yes. So if you have, and there are levels of insurance that is required. Of course, we go through a very thorough check. You have to meet the insurance requirement before we could accept you on the app. Folks with their taxi. Of course, we have a lot of taxis on the app. People who operate the taxi service on a daily basis, and we say to them, well, listen, this is giving you the ability and option to reach a wider range of clientele. So you might sit at the taxi stand, and someone a block away may not even know you're on the taxi stand, but they might tap the app and requests, and then you accept the request and you go pick the person up. None at the same time, it doesn't take away from a taxi who is running the regular shift. If you're running a regular shift, you just go offline.
So it won't be a competition to the regular taxi?
No, it's not a competition. It's adding to what the regular taxi already have. And that was a question that the Taxi Owners Association, and they had a lot of questions. In fact, when we launched, we went to the few taxi association and we explained that to them. Listen, we are not here to compete with you. We're not bringing vehicles in. I haven't brought vehicles in. Essentially, what I'm saying is that I am providing additional option for you to make money, right? I'm saying, well, here, you might be just chilling, you don't have anything to do at this point in time. You're sitting at the taxi stand.
You park up on the car, waiting that somebody comes out from one of the supermarkets and say, hey, I need a taxi.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you turn on your app. Someone comes in from the airport. Someone comes in from the supermarket, and they say, you know what? Let me get a ride because I need to get home. They tap the app. You get that notification on your phone, and you go pick the person up. You go drop the person off. It might be right after that you say, you know what? I have something else to do. Or I'm going home. I ain't working I'm done for the day. Just go offline. There is no obligation for a driver to stay online for the whole time.
Okay.
But if you do choose to, there are people that's doing very well on the app. Right, there are people who are dedicated and they work. They work every day and they make a good living of just requesting or accepting trips on their part time. Right, so it's really enhancing transportation here in Grenada, and you said it well before we started the interview that. Nightlife is one of the major impact that we will see that get a boost because of these reliable forms of transportation. Because if you know that you could go out and you could go by the bar and have a drink and don't have to worry about a bus to take you home because bus ain't running, or don't have to worry about nothing else, you'll go out more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let me ask this though. With the population of Grenada not so big,
right?
All right, just about 110, and I'm certain that we have 110 people. Maybe we have 200,000 cars. You know,
yes.
So many privately owned vehicles. You'll find a household that with seven people in it, 5 vehicles in the yard.
True.
How lucrative would RideGo be? Well,
RideGo is and will always be a business. In fact, transportation is a multi-billion-dollar industry. You find people for many, many different reasons. Either they don't want to drive, or it's not profitable for them to drive. Or there might be some people who coming in that they don't want to drive, or it's more cost effective for them not to rent a vehicle, right? So we fill in that gap. And also, Gordon, it's important to note that there are a lot of people who want to get to St. George but don't want to deal with the hassle of having to park, because parking is a problem. So you might be at home and you want to get to town and you don't want to drive, or you might be going to the court and you don't want to struggle for parking. You tap the app, the car is going to come pick you up, whether you're in St. David, St. Mark. We have drivers all around the island. I just came from Carriacou. We're starting to onboard drivers in Carriacou as well. So once you go to Carriacou and you get off the Osprey, tap the app, a car is going to come pick you up.
Wow.
For Carriacou Carnival, we're going to be working closely with the Carnival Association. So when you go to Carriacou for Carnival, you could rely on getting around easy. Similarly, when folks from Carriacou come to Grenada and they get off the Osprey here in St. George, they may have bags and stuff like that. Instead of having to look around, run around, or find out where they get in a car, they tap the app, the car is going to be waiting. You get off the airplane at Maurice Bishop International Airport, you tap the app, your car is going to be waiting for you. And again, rest assured that the people who are drivers for the Ride Go, they go through a process. It's a process of where we take it very, very seriously, the drivers that get approved onto our system.
Okay. All right. Someone seems to want some clarification, and I think you're the most appropriate person to do that.
Yes.
Good morning, caller. Welcome.
You bet, Mr. Joseph. Good morning. Greetings to your guests. Just a little clarity here, Mr. George, put out there. Very interesting case. Sounds rather interesting, I must indeed say, as we move into the technology. But here it is, the numbers, Mr. George. Price per mile/kilometer. And B, does it involve travel? Or let's say this way, the measurement and the time or measurement individually? I trust that my question is understood. Any doubts?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the question. I appreciate it. So the fare is calculated based on time and distance, right? Capping it more on distance. So, for instance, Gordon and caller, if you are sitting on Melville Street right now and you may want to get to Maurice Bishop International Airport, the app will predefine and tell you what the cost will be. It will basically tell you if you get in a small car, what we call a Ride S. A Ride S on the app will cost you XYZ. If you want to go there in a luxury vehicle, because we do have luxury vehicles with some vehicles that have, armrests and massages, all the different things, everything, we have that type of option as well. If you want to get even buses, we have buses on the app. Right, we have buses on the app. If you want to get in a bus, you have a few friends that So the app calculates the time and the distance, and it gives you a cost, and that is the cost. That is the price that you will pay at the end, whether by your credit card being charged at the end of the trip or with your cash payment. So it's all calculated.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Someone says, "Good morning. What's about having a portable card machine where the client can tap the card?"
Right. So that's an interesting question, but it's not necessary because the app itself will automatically charge the customer because it's already in the app, so you don't need a driver to have to put his own personal card machine and all that stuff. So it's really not necessary.
We have another caller. This is interesting. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Yeah, morning. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm very glad people should be calling in. Mr. Gentleman, good morning. I wanted to find out, is there any way, if I want to get around, could I call you that? Could I call any number? You're talking about technology. What about people? Could you call direct? Like, can I pick up on a cell phone now? Can I pick up a cell phone now and call that number or number that you could provide directly, and somebody will come to me instead of going through all this technology? Of course, I have all these things, but I'm trying to tell you always have to cater for people because I understand that 18,000 people in Grenada doesn't really have internet. A lot of people still don't have access to cell phone and all these fancy things. So I'm asking, is there a direct number? Because I just need taxi from time to time. Is there a direct telephone number that I could call directly by sick in the night or so, and the person will come to me and I'll pay them cash?
Absolutely. Caller? Yes, absolutely, caller. Thank you so much for your question. And the answer is yes. We do have an on-demand booking because we understand not everyone is into technology.
I am not.
Right. So the process is we have a 24-hour, and this is it, Gordon and Grenada. We're taking this thing to a different level, right? We have a 24-hour hotline that you could call at any time of the day or night, whether you're having issues or you may want a ride. Right, so there's an on-demand section where you could call and they could do a manual booking. But we do encourage people to download the app. It's very, very easy. In fact, it's the easiest thing. The UI, the user interface on the app is so simple because we believe that it has to be an option where a child could use it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's very easy. And yes, we do have on-demand booking.
Okay. We do have a caller via WhatsApp. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Joseph.
Welcome to the program. Good morning.
I hope you can hear me loud and clear, right?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
It's not so good. But tell the gentleman, right?
He's listening to you. You tell him yourself.
Right, okay. Listen, mister, I don't know you, but I've seen you in Grenada a lot of the times, and you do a lot of lunching. Now, people may say, oh, it's money, 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 money. Let me tell you something. It's a good thing you're doing. And I'm fed up as a Grenadian coming back to Grenada regular and renting cars and paying big, big money. I know the road is bad, the cars have to import it and them are the charges and all that. But hear what? I'm coming from foreign and I'm renting cars for 3 weeks that the car owned in foreign don't even cost that kind of money. So I gladly recommend and I'm on board with your team because I don't really want to rent car when I come in Grenada. So your service will do me excellento. You understand?
So
just go ahead and bring that in as soon as you can.
Just for clarification purposes,
because I'm a regular visitor to Grenada and I don't want to pay all that money for renting a car. Strictly so.
Okay, tell us where you're calling from.
I'm calling from the UK.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for caller from the UK. Now we do understand, Joseph. As you know, I live in the US for 30 plus years of my life.
You're that old, Jonah?
Yeah, I'm very old.
Wow. Not old, aged.
So I've seen, I understand. I've been to almost. I've been all over the world, to tell you the truth, and my purpose and goal is to enhance what we do here in Grenada. So a lot of the things that I've seen work in the outside world, as I said, I've taught over probably 500,000 Uber drivers in New York. Right? Nobody didn't know that. I did it.
What did you teach?
I teach them customer service. In fact, I had.
You listened to my program this morning, right?
No.
The intro to my program, I was talking a lot about, I suggested to government ministries and private entities that ever so often they need to bring in a specialist to pep up the employees because, sometimes employees do get complacent and throw professionalism and customer service out the door. So that is so key and vital.
Yeah, I had a contract for 6 years. I had a contract with Uber. That whereby if a customer reach below the threshold in terms of their rating, and we still have a rating system as well. So if they hit below the threshold, Uber deactivate that customer, and when they deactivate that customer, they'll come to my class. And when they come to my class, I'll teach them customer service. I'll teach them how to be a better driver. I give them a holistic view of what to expect when they get on the road, and then I get them reactivated back into the Uber system. But in addition, because of the relationship that I had with Uber over the years, we were able to recommend a lot of different additions to Uber, changes, because we were the direct interface between the customer and the driver. So we were the one talking to the drivers. So many, let me tell you, over 500,000 drivers came through our program.
Someone says, good morning, Innocent and Junior. The taxi associations who operate at the airport and hotels, how does the application of the app fit in? Example, the airport, would this pose a problem for the drivers there in terms of revenue, the same as the hotels as they go in turns? Would this not disrupt their business?
No, it won't disrupt their business because, as I said earlier, and thanks for the question, I appreciate it. The drivers who are on our platform are drivers from taxi association, the drivers who drive taxi, and people who work as taxi operators. Remember, we are not bringing in cars.
Okay.
I am not coming here and say I have 150 cars. We don't own the cars, right? Basically, we own the platform. So a taxi a driver who work with the same taxi association at the airport or wherever might say, you know what, let me chill by the bar. Let me sit by the bar.
I'll get a call.
Okay. Right?
Okay.
So it doesn't compete, it enhances.
Okay.
We
do have another caller. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Oh, yes, good morning, Doc, and good morning to your guest. With this system, would every vehicle who is part of this system be required to have a fixed tracker on the vehicle?
A what?
A what?
A fixed tracker.
A fixed tracker.
A fixed tracker. Okay. Thanks for your question, caller. The app itself, right, is is it tracks the driver. Right. So basically, when I say track the driver, not in any kind of malicious way. Right. Basically, what it's saying is that, say for instance, Joseph, Gordon, you send your child to school, right? And you call a Ride Go app to take your child to school. Your child is going to school. You could basically go on the app and track and see where the car is at every given time.
A sort of progress report.
Right, a progress report. You see when your child gets to school or how far your child is. So it adds that type of reliability and trust for the customer, right? Say, for instance, someone go to a party late at night and they say, you know what, they're drunk and they want to get home. You call a ride for them, and you could even share your trip with a friend. And it adds to the reliability and trust, right? And we don't believe that anything malicious will happen, but it just gives that reassurance that you know there is always, we know where you are.
Okay.
Right.
Someone wants to get a little personal detail. I guess that person is interested in signing up. What's the percentage of pay to the driver?
Well, that will give the persons who are interested call us, and we'll have an onboarding session, and the onboarding session would explain everything that you need to know. And we appreciate people interested in just signing on to the system. We believe that it takes the transportation sector to a different level, and that's what we're trying to do. So again, if you want to sign up, you could go. In fact, you don't even have to call. You go into the App Store right now. For the customer, if you need to get to some place, you don't like the hassle, you don't want the stress, even if you don't live in Grenada, you live in the US or Canada or England, and your mother, your sister, your brother, someone needs to get to the hospital, right? You could call it Ride Go from New York.
Junior, this platform is transformative.
Absolutely.
Tell you what, folks, it's 7 minutes away from 8 o'clock. We take a commercial break, and when we come back, we wrap. Junior, I did not intend this conversation to be so long, but talking with you is so easy, and especially with the interests and the significance of a campaign like this. Folks, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back after this, and we've got the BBC coming up at 8. Don't you go anywhere. Stick and stay.
Shop with confidence at Courts. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Courts. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
Yo, my beautiful people, this is all about Oil Down Fest going down on Saturday, January 31st. And right now, this is a special invite for you. You know you could cook. You know somebody that could cook. You have an auntie that could cook. You have a granny that could cook. You have a brother or sister, anybody you know that could cook. Or you could cook. You can register today. You can register right now. It's Oil Down Fest. I'm telling you, January 31st, you don't want to miss it. You know you're bad on our Oil Down, so register and come and win some prizes. I'll see you there. Yeah.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sun Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Grenada. Are you ready for the biggest football showdown to kick off 2026? Our senior men's national team is back, and they're going for 7 straight wins. Sunday, January 18th, Team Grenada takes on regional rivals Jamaica in a clash of titans at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. Kickoff 5 p.m. sharp. It's pride, power, and pure Caribbean football. Grenada versus Jamaica, a rivalry like no other. Can we make it 7 in a row? Come feel the energy, the passion, the fight. Tickets just $25 for adults, $10 for children. Kids under 10 enter free. Grab yours now at Heather's Boutique, Chucky's Bar, Grenadian Optical, or GFA's office. Tell your friends, bring the family, and let's pack the stadium. This is more than a match. This is Grenada versus Jamaica, and we want all of you to be in the stands. Sunday, January 18th at 5 p.m. Grenada versus Jamaica. One team, one goal.
Let's set the roof on fire. Step by step, raise the whole room higher. Pick up your step, don't try hard. Down, up, down like a boom bap choir. Turn out the beat, raise up the heat. Kick up your feet like this, like that. Word on the street says you got the heat, so let's see you move like this, like that. Wanna see you move.
Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique are known as the spice of the Caribbean, offering a blend of authenticity and adventure. Our unique selling points include pristine beaches, lush rainforests, rich cultural heritage, and vibrant festivals. These elements create a tapestry.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. Ride Go.
Ride Go. Yes.
Junior, one of the concerns I know that will pop up, right? Grenada is gradually and slowly moving into the technological age as it relates to cashless transactions.
Right.
So there's a certain level of timidity as it relates to giving off your card information and so forth. And also, there would also be the concern from your end of someone using, maybe stealing someone else's card and so forth. What sort of protections are there?
Right. So, listen, we use some of the world-class standard in fraud-proof prevention. Amazon Web Service, the Stripe. These platforms are basically set up, and that's what you use by major companies. That's what Uber use, that's what Lyft use, that's what industry standard uses. So our server is not based locally, and if there is any report of stolen credit card, it would not. The system would not pick it up. The system would not allow a trip to go through, right? Likewise, when you put your card on file, know that your information is 100% protected, right? Because of the servers that we use. That is not local. It's not based on our platform. It's not based on our server. It's Amazon Web Server. It's the Stripe, and this platform again is industry standard. So you need not worry. But we understand people might still be skeptical, which is fine. You don't have to use your credit card. You could do cash, and that's an option as well. Right, and we encourage people. Listen, try the platform. Yesterday, someone called me. They had a blown out tire going up in Granite Tang area, and she called me and she thanked me. Oh God, she thanked me because she had a blown out tire, and she don't know who she could have called.
Okay.
She called Ride Go, and the driver was there to pick her up within 5 minutes.
That leads me to the final question because we have to go. In terms of reliability and time, punctuality.
Right. Well, that's something, again, I'm from a customer service background. So that's one of the things that we have so much cars on the road, 150 or so cars active in the platform. A car would always be about 5 minutes away from you.
Okay.
So whenever you need a car, rest assured that a driver will be about 5 to 7 minutes away from you, right?
Someone calling from Munlong.
We have drivers in St. James area. We have drivers in Grenville area. We have drivers in Baltazar area. We have drivers in Broch Grove area. Someone requesting from where?
Resource in St. Mark.
We have drivers in St. Mark. We have drivers in Victoria. We have drivers. See, we're island-wide. Okay. We're not just centralized in the south. Okay. We're island-wide and we're far. And we're urging people to go to the App Store. Whether you have an Android or you have an Apple device, you go to the App Store, very, very easy. Type RIDE, spell RYDE. Write it down on your fridge, write it down on a marker. Go there right now and download it. RIDE Go.
RYDE, not R-I.
RYDE.
Okay.
RYDE GO. You're going to see it there. You download the app. Garden in 2 minutes, or less than 2 minutes, 30 seconds or so. You set up an account as a user, and you will just see the platform open up. And the app is going to ask you, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? That's it. You're putting where you want to go. Taxi's there to pick you up.
Junior, I commend you on this initiative, and I do hope that the powers that be give you all the support and incentive that is needed, because this, I am seeing this solving so many problems, a plethora of problems.
Absolutely.
Congestion on the road.
Absolutely.
People don't need to take all their vehicles to come to work in the morning. You can call and
just to augment what you're saying, there we have an option there called RIDE. The option where you could get I'll show it to you real quick. The pool. Ride pool. You're right. So you might be coming from here and you go into St. George. There might be other people going to St. George. So the car would pick you up and someone else going to St. George. So that basically cut down on the amount of cars coming to St. George. So the ride pool is an excellent option. You could do the pool. You could do the hourly booking. You even have tuk-tuk on there as well. You could get a tuk-tuk. Or you may need a bus. You may have a big party. You guys going out somewhere. You need a bus. You could get a bus on the app. You could get a luxury vehicle on the app. You could get a small car on the app. You could get an XL car on the app. There's so many different things, and we're actually adding some additional stuff that we're going to be telling you about later.
Lydia says that's one of the best things that ever been introduced to Grenada. Mary says it is good to see all areas are covered. Seems an efficient service.
Absolutely.
Junior, I commend you and your team and the backers. I know you're never bankrupt for ideas. there's no desert for ideas with you, and it can only get better.
Yes.
And as time progresses, you'll report to us how it's doing and what your needs are, because I know this employment creation as well. We can go on for another 3 hours, but Junior, we gotta go. Thank you very much for spending my morning with me.
Thank you so much.
And maybe we should do this a little more often.
I'm here. Right, go guys. Download the app, tap the app, and we have a discount on. I'm gonna put the discount in your name, Gordon. So I'm gonna put a discount code on there that you guys go in there and you'll see Gordon. You type it in and you get some discount. How about that?
That sounds good.
Yeah. In your name.
Yeah.
The Gordon discount.
Yeah, that's good. That sounds good. Folks, that's it for the conversation this morning. A very enlightening one, I must add. Very informative, very, very transformative. Take advantage of it. Folks, we've got to go. We've got to join the BBC, which I presume is already in progress.